Hey guys, today's episode of The Read is brought to you by the new season of Spotify's original podcast, Dissect. Dissect is a serialized music analysis podcast where they take a single album per season and examine the lyrics, music, and meaning behind one song per episode. The new season is all about Kendrick Lamar's 2017 album, Damn, unpacking this Pulitzer Prize-winning album note by note and line by line. So stream Dissect on Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts, because great art deserves more than a swipe. Give a raise to whoever came up with that one. That's cute. All right, let's start the show. Boy, you should know that I ain't got you on my mind. Secret admirer. 'Cause I've been watching food. At night, I think of food. I want a bacon cheeseburger, baby. And if you got you some, just hit my line, boo.
Oh my God.
If you got you some, let me get some French fries too. At night. Fuck this show. Whatever.
Bitch, you better sing.
Welcome back, everyone.
Woo, shit.
I am Cheryl Lee Ralph.
And I am Erica Alexander. This is The Read.
Yeah.
What a gorgeous rendition that was, friend.
I just figured, might as well sing about things I know.
Not thinking about no niggas these days.
Love's not one of them.
Okay.
Welcome back, everyone. It's a brand new Tuesday, because that's when this podcast comes out now. I think most of you are aware at this
Have
point.
adjusted, yeah. Thank
Thanks
y'all for bearing with us.
Sticking with us in these trying times. So Black Excellence this week is dedicated to Homecoming and not Beyonce's.
Oh, okay.
Rather, this is Homecoming by LaDonia Alford Jeffries, a graduate of North Carolina A&T. LaDonia is a biology teacher in high school.
Okay.
And also author of the 26-page children's book, Homecoming. So the book came out this spring, according to Because of Them We Can. And basically, she came up with the idea in 2015. She was pregnant with her first kid and living in Ohio, so she wasn't in town and be able to attend the Homecoming events and be wild and have a great, collegiate experience. And so she was inspired to write a book for Black kids, featuring art and words and things that reminded them of themselves and their culture, and was all about the HBCU experience surrounded by Homecoming.
Yeah.
So this is like I read that she looked up books on HBCUs for kids and found some, but none about the Homecoming experience, which is like a huge part of the HBCU experience.
That seems strange.
So
that nobody ever covered it before, yeah.
Right. So the book tells the story of these Black parents, and they're taking their 3 kids. It looks like the 2 girls might be twins and a little boy. And the art, shout out to, it says on the cover, the illustrations are by, I don't know if her name is Jaren or J. Aaron. It's probably J. Aaron Merchant. And the art kind of reminds me of like a little bit of the Proud Family, or maybe like a Bebe's Kids or something like that. So I really love the art. And so they go with their parents to their very first homecoming and learn all about fraternities and sororities in the school. And they eat junk food and watch the football game and go to classes and all that stuff. So
that's fun.
It's like a cool, really nicely illustrated and written dedication to homecoming, and hopefully something that will get young kids interested in college and things like that. Apparently she's already sold over 1,000 copies of the book. I'm probably going to buy one just because, I like the art, and I'll probably give it to some child in your life, vortex of my life somewhere. They're around.
Well, that is really cute.
So I wanted to give a shout out to her because I thought this was cute, and the book is really cute, and I love the cover so much and the art and all of that. So little something, a taste different.
Yeah.
So congratulations to you, girl. And I hope you sell even more because it's a really cute book and it should be in kindergarten classrooms and stuff. And you know, you had like your pile or your like shelf of books when you had reading time and you would go and get your shit.
Yes, I do.
And be in your corner with your fave.
I stayed in the reading tree.
Oh, yeah.
I stayed in that bitch.
You know, I read nearly all of the books, but you always had your fave.
Right.
That you read no less than a dozen times.
It was a lot of books for me, actually. The entire Babysitter's Club and a whole bunch of other series. But anyway, this is really great.
That was Goosebumps and an Animorphs, girl.
See, I could not read Goosebumps by myself. Somebody else had to be in the room with me.
Loved it.
I got way too scared.
Some of the Goosebumps books were kind of creepy or scary, and then some of them were really dumb.
Yeah,
like
some of them were so stupid.
Block of cheese that eats you or something stupid.
Those I'm just like, okay, whatever. But the ones where they're like, oh, mom and dad just left, and then I hear a creak at the door. I'm like, oh, nah, bitch, cut all this off. Burn this
Haunted
shit
Mask fucked me.
Yeah, no, kiss
the one with the doll was Slappy. Was the ventriloquist doll? That one fucked
anytime
with me.
the dolls come to life at night.
Say cheese or die.
Oh, that one is a classic.
That one fucked with me.
That one was bad.
But then it was like, oh, the hamster ate my teacher or whatever.
Right.
And it was like, okay.
But yeah, a lot of them scared me. Needed an adult.
All right, so this week in the clusterfuck of stories in our pop culture segment called Hot Tops, the Hunching Black of Notre Dame.
Okay. All right.
So last week we spoke briefly about Suge Knight giving his story, life rights, whatever the term is, over to Ray J to produce the undoubtedly Mona Scott Young led Suge Knight story via VH1. Apparently, not so. Suge Knight spoke with The Blast? I don't know. Yes. The Blast, one of these TMZ-esque gossipy places.
Okay.
And he told them that his fiance, Toy Lynn Kelly, not make any assumptions there.
Okay.
Lots of locked up niggas engaged.
Right, I'm like, fiance for what?
Holding the checking and savings down.
Oh, she is also in jail for 3 years.
Oh, is she?
That's what this Google search just said to me. Toy Lynn Kelly, who is engaged to Suge Knight, was sentenced to 3 years in jail for a probation violation.
Well, the couple that serves time together,
has no choice but to stay together.
Limes together. And their margaritas when they get out.
Wow. So she helped him violate a court order, and that's why she's in jail.
Sounds like a ride or die.
Suck my dick.
Mostly die.
Damn.
Well, he says that she's been assigned power of attorney for him and his legal things, including the handling of movie deals, TV deals, documentary deals, and so on, based on Suge Knight and Death Row.
Okay.
Ray J is apparently supposed to be handling the record label itself, Death Row Records.
All right.
And the future of the label. And it sounds like he's also releasing an album under Death Row, Ray J.
Oh, his album? His music? Oh, all right. Well, okay.
I saw that he dropped out. Ray J just recently dropped out of that Immature tour that they were apparently actually doing. I thought that was a joke.
Yeah.
But apparently they were actually doing that. But he's got a baby on the way, another one.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that I read that's why he is focused.
I mean, that is a great excuse.
Yeah, it's a fantastic one.
Do it to her if you didn't really want to. Yep. So, but either way, congratulations to him and Princess.
Yeah, because that Melody is the baby's name.
A living doll. She's so cute.
Wow, how precious.
And Melody is a beautiful name.
It is.
Like,
very
it's just
simple,
so fitting and
very lovely.
Really, really, really adorable. I'm guessing that Ray J's mama has cooled off a little bit. Like, I'm imagining she has calmed her tits.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything around that. And I saw that they just had they just revealed the gender of this next baby, but I didn't take the time to see what it is. But God bless them anyway. Hope you have a healthy pregnancy and labor and so on.
That was so.
Ray J Death Row Records. Death Row Records.
I like that better.
And then, right? And then apparently, Suge Knight tapped another celebrity friend to handle his book, like his biography. Nick Cannon.
I was about to say, when you say celebrity friend, this is about to be somebody who is totally out of left field and don't have shit to do with books. And the answer was yes.
There you go.
It was about to be a nigga who is not known for reading or publishing. What?
Nick Cannon surely has a book.
You know what? Nick Cannon is known for doing a good job at producing things.
And wearing turbans. And also having...
And staying in a beauty supply turban. Yes.
Is that where those are from?
Yes. He is getting those for a cute $225.
Affordable.
You know what? And if he not, then somebody is making a whole lot of money off of a product that costs $225.
I just figured he had a line coming out,
you know,
and so this was like,
maybe he got a bunch custom made for like his head dimensions or whatever.
Right.
But I mean, they look like the ones from the beauty supply. So, which is some cute stuff at the beauty supply. I'm just saying.
Nick Cannon, King of the Dance Hall, a novel available now on Amazon for $9.89. I am blown. Maybe there's another Nick Cannon from Portmore and I don't know nothing about him.
Right.
King of the Dance Hall, a novel by Nick Cannon?
No, that can't
Are
be
you
the same.
fucking kidding me?
That cannot be the same.
No girl alive. A heart-pounding, exhilarating novel based on the movie, written, directed, and starring Nick. Nigga, there's a movie?
It came out in 2016. Where were we
lying.
at? No.
You're lying.
No.
You're fucking lying. And the nerve of Amazon to talk about some frequently bought together this next to Becoming by Michelle Obama. A lie.
No.
Which one of you niggas bought King of the Dance Hall, a novel by Nick Cannon, with Becoming by Michelle Obama? I need answers.
Oh, wow.
Customers who bought this item also apparently bought My Word by Giselle Bryant and Darkness to Light, a memoir by Lamar Odom.
Nigga, Whoopi Goldberg and Busta Rhymes were in this movie.
I'm dreaming.
It was exclusively released on YouTube Red.
This has to be like a fever dream or something.
Woo, bitch. What?
Nick Cannon is a successful, multifaceted entertainer, Canadian TV executive producer and host, film star, director, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and children's book author.
You know what? This was a mistake. Google was a mistake. Because how did we end up here? I swear to God, we were talking about something else.
This is why I don't know. What? I could have swore this was just the name of a song by Beanie Man. Exclusive trailer for...
This is really fucked you up.
I need to know, because I've Googled...
You okay?
I thought Loretta Devine was in this, but no, Whoopi Goldberg plays Loretta Brixton.
Look at you.
If Nick Cannon plays a Jamaican...
I bet he does. I wonder, can we find a clip of it? What's it called? Live from the dance hall. Oh, I would pay for this.
Collie Buddz is in this movie?
Oh, let me Google this.
That nigga ain't Jamaican either. This is a travesty.
And there it is.
I can't believe that I just fell into this. I forgot we're doing a show.
Beyonce videos, all they dance moves originated right here.
Maybe is this a documentary?
Maybe.
Okay, mute that.
Oh, right, I forgot. Okay, hold on.
I found the trailer. I'm watching it.
Yeah, King of the Dance Hall is Nick Cannon's stunning dramatic exploration of the world's sexiest dance tradition. Seeking to cover his ailing mother's medical bills, a young man travels to Jamaica. Oh, it is not
well, you know what?
A documentary. It is a movie.
You know what? Seeing as how I'm never going to watch this, At least it says a young man travels to Jamaica.
Right.
To enter the drug trade, Nicholas? Are you kidding me, my nigga?
And once he's there, he gets swept up in dance hall and finds himself torn between two lovers.
I am blasted right now. Why is Whoopi Goldberg looking like Big Mama from Soul Mood?
Because the check said she would.
Oh, she's the ailing mother.
Oh, God. Oh, wait. That sounds really bad.
I'm gonna watch
I have to watch it.
I'm going to hate watch this. I can't believe this.
Absolutely. How much is a premium YouTube subscription?
It's not much. I already have a
Of
YouTube
course you
premium
do.
account. Wow. Well, I guess
this is Hulu prices. No, wait a minute.
I guess
I'm
some
that much goddamn
because YouTube actually has a lot of original programming on there, so I guess that's their excuse. I don't watch much of it, but
okay. Well, no,
I figured why
I'm gonna
not?
have to bootleg that, but
woo. Well,
okay. Well, that was a journey. Where
that
were
happened
we?
to me.
Yep.
Who even cares? I'm just gonna keep going.
That happened to you. Yes, it did.
The April and Little Fizz have gotten on Instagram to say that they are, I guess, officially a couple or whatever. The Pussycat is officially out of the bed.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, stop that. But I
They've
thought
reached-
they'd been said that.
Whatever. Well, I guess they were like not official because everything I've seen around this today says that they've made it Instagram official. So I guess this is them no longer playing around with I'm just friends with such and such.
Okay.
And like officially claiming one another. They both look very high and mixed together, embracing one another on Instagram. And like, good for you. You know what I'm saying? If you like it, my nigga, I love it. And I just picture Omarion's just moonwalking through Spanish Town somewhere. Just not giving a fuck. Because since Omarion, I remember like at the height of this drama, when it was like actually a thing and people were paying it serious attention. Omarion's response was like uploading a video of him gliding around like he was still dancing for Little Saint and he was in Jamaica somewhere. And I haven't really seen anything regarding Omarion since. And he intelligently has not responded or spoken about this. He's not on Love and Hip Hop.
Right.
So that nigga is somewhere minding his own business. But for me personally, I can only picture him still sliding and gliding around Jamaica while this is happening. Even though he's surely at home, but whatever. It's fun for me.
I would have never thought of Omarion being like the most mature person in any one given situation. Like, I just don't think I would have ever associated that with him. But the fact that these two are like willing to do whatever dumb shit that I know ultimately is for the sake of that reality show, it was just like, I wonder, does he look at that like, damn, my baby mama or ex-wife, or I don't know what she really is to him.
I don't know if they were ever married, so I guess baby mama.
And then like this man who was supposed, I don't know how close they were either, but like friend and
not very
group mate or whatever else. It just seems like, damn, you niggas are really that desperate enough to do any old thing for a check.
The ashiness of the situation is just the fact that they were actually on tour together while this is happening.
Right.
Because otherwise, if they were still in their respective homes, just not liking one another as they had been doing, then this would have been like, oh, but the O of it probably would have lasted a week and then we would have moved on. But because they're touring, Mon Ami was like, let's milk this bitch.
That's right.
Each tit.
And there's just no way this is a random Instagram announcement. I don't believe that shit for half a second. So.
I feel like Mona definitely told them, don't say shit until I pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And I guess the trigger's been pulled. I don't really know. I know that their storyline this season on the show has been, will they, won't they?
See?
As everyone and like we just barely like returned to giving a fuck about B2K. Like we gave B2K their roses and stuff when they came back on tour and shit like that. The y'all is specific in shade, but it's fine.
It's fine.
I accept that.
I'm just saying.
I accept that.
Y'all went and y'all had a good time.
It's true. I wasn't there. I believe I had something to do.
Yeah, you had to go to Miami.
Yeah, for something.
Yeah.
But either way, that nostalgia, it came and it went, and we wish the girls luck. I mean, I don't know if we even need to because it seems like the tour did quite well.
Right.
But as far as the rest of this is concerned, like, you guys look cute together and, you know, to God be the glory. And if the kids are all right, who even cares? Because those not twins that Omarion and April made are the greatest thing about this whole thing.
They are really cute.
And so God bless the children.
Doesn't Lil Fizz have a baby too with that one girl?
With,
crazy.
with, don't call her that.
You're right. What is her name?
Moniece.
See, you couldn't think of it neither. You wanted to say the same thing, but it's fine.
But I feel bad for her because it's like, damn, here you go caught in the middle of some more bullshit and you already know that you gotta, you know, deal with your dosage as I do as well and just trying to stay sane out here, and here go niggas. Because I remember, and this is how I knew that, of course, Fizz is just one of those niggas who doesn't think before.
Okay.
He doesn't use like his head brain before his penis brain.
Right.
When he was fucking around with that other girl that had beef with Moniece.
Oh, yeah.
Based on that white stud.
The
that
white
Moniece
stud's friend, right.
It was like, so you only know about this girl because I hate her.
Right.
And then you decided to have her in the house in negligees when I come over. So I know this is just even more like.
Right. Another
damn.
reason why I think that not Omarion, what's his little name? Lil Fizz. Mm-hmm. That's why I think he's doing this shit for the benefit of the cameras and not because he actually gives a shit about any of these people that he's
I think he actually really likes this girl. I just think that he's one of these niggas who doesn't think, fucking around with this person would lead to a whole lot of unnecessarily messy shit for me and everybody around me. So I'm not going to do that. As many niggas do. Right. Lots of niggas know that consequences of the person that they're about to fuck with are going to be messy, but they think, can't nobody be my ass. I don't give a fuck. I'm rough and tough. And
yeah, he definitely knows that this is like messy shit to do.
And doesn't care because he feels like nobody should care. And really, nobody should because it's B2K. But like the people... But like, no, I'm saying like for the bigger picture, for like the shade room of it all, it's not that deep. You know what I mean? Like regular niggas that work wherever the fuck, just living a regular life, are involved in way messier shit than this. But
okay.
I guess us niggas that don't know you, it really isn't that deep. But for the people involved in your personal life, of course it's going to be messy. Niggas are going to have questions because look at what you're doing. Right. But you're not thinking that because you just feel like you can do whatever you want.
Which, I mean, okay. I just feel like if I was Omarion, I would be looking at them like they were a little bit pathetic. Like, y'all are really out here like selling this shit. Y'all are really out here saying and doing any old damn
according
thing.
to her, April, he left her, Omarion.
Okay.
And she didn't understand why or know why. So he bounced. And you, this nigga who was once in a group with him, but y'all not really friends like that, are now picking up the girl that he had 2 kids with and was with for however long. Like, of course you paying it. Like, I mean, I would. Okay. Not everyone would, though.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like that's probably mostly because of the hoopla surrounding it on social media rather than the situation itself. Because many other niggas would have checked in with some bullshit just because people are looking at you crazy. That's why that nigga was in his green, black, and gold. Sliding around Ultra Reels like fucking MC Hammer paying it. Because I would as well.
Yeah, and a lot of people probably assume, like I did, that they were much closer because they had been in that group for so long and they, you know, had appeared on the reality show together, toured together, whatever else. So I think I just assumed they were closer than what they are. But
it's just a story that's easy to make a thing. Even though, who cares?
I mean, I have no idea, but I have a feeling that this relationship is carrying that whole franchise.
And then we talked about when April was on Instagram Live, patting her pussy in some boy shorts.
Right.
With that stud behind her, feeling her cooch and being like, oh, Marion wants pussy in the game. Or whoever the fuck it was she was naming.
Oh,
so it's like, there was just a lot of antics surrounding this situation that's really not that deep.
Cocaine.
Who should...
I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but it sounds like cocaine.
It's still funny.
It just does. Sis, what?
I thought alcohol, but you never know.
You really honestly, never fucking know.
I feel like he would just trip and fall in some coke in certain places in LA. So, just, oh God.
Best of luck to everybody. Woo, shit.
So, Cardi B, star of the latest Fast and Furious film, claims that she helped to open doors for female rappers, and it's led to an unnecessarily dramatic response from stans on Instagram.
Oh, Lord.
So first of all, she's about to be in Fast and Furious Part 9. No word on exactly what she's playing, but she was in an Instagram video with Vin Diesel, and she seems to be wearing some sort of a utility vest. So I'm guessing she's going to be driving fast and shooting at niggas, as one does in Fast and Furious.
Right.
So if you're still sticking around for that, regardless of the heated Tyrese Gibson, Dwayne Johnson drama, you've got a little to look forward to in the next movie.
I know it's like a massive franchise, but I checked out of those movies a long time ago. Probably after the first one. I don't even think I've seen 2.
My nigga, I bought like the box set or whatever on Blu-ray. I think I talked about this on the show, just to watch the ones I haven't seen, which was all of them besides the first 2.
Wow. Okay.
Just to understand why they were still making them. Because I'm like, okay, because by then it was I feel like by then Fast and the Furious 8 was about to drop, and I was like, how many things can you drive a car through or off of to excuse this many fucking movies? So I thought, I'm gonna watch these to understand. Because as what I understand is that Paul Walker wanted 10 films, and to honor his passing and his involvement with the franchise, and they've got this really tight-knit fast family thing, they want to make at least 10 of them.
Okay.
Which is why I guess another part of the reason why they were so annoyed by that Hobbs and Shaw movie that still did well. But
are we not well past 10 at this point?
No, this is 9.
Oh, okay. Shit.
Cardi B's in the 9th one.
Gotcha.
And then I expect they will drop another one not too long after that, and it will be the last one until you and I are, old and gray, God willing, we make it.
Yep.
And they reboot it again.
And we're like,
Zac Efron and Lil Nas
Zac
X
Efron
or whoever
will
else.
also be old.
Yeah, I don't know.
People who aren't even born yet.
Miles Brown and Marcel Martin. I don't know, young people. Give me a break.
I don't either, actually.
So I don't know which one of you barbs were trolling Cardi B this time when she decided to go on a rant about her position in music. She's also on that like Rap American Idol or whatever it's called on Netflix with T.I.
Yeah, I saw a couple episodes of that.
I haven't watched it yet. I've been meaning to get around to it, but boy, I look at my computer and my eyelids.
You have a lot to do. You're busy in here these days.
But help me for getting through what I'm looking at here.
Are we talking about the barbs or about the show?
Isn't it lovely? It could be either.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about Cardi's tweets right now.
Okay.
I didn't say I paved the way for female rappers, but I def gave the hood and women hope. Niggas wasn't collabing with female rappers. Labels were signing female rappers and putting them in a shelf and not focusing on them, not giving them proper attention. It seemed like it was impossible for it to be more than one female rapper. These male rappers were not even taking money from female rappers for a feature because it seemed far-fetched for another woman to make it. I see so many male artists collabing with females now even. Some that are not mainstream because I know they don't want to miss out on the opportunity in case they make it, because trust and believe, slot of niggas I asked for features from when they see me. They tell me I should have believed him. I should have did the feature. And y'all can deny it as much as y'all want and say I'm crazy or shut the fuck up. But how many female rappers before me were getting chances on... So she actually spells were where, because it's been 3 times. Okay. Getting chances or getting pushed. Well, they wasn't believing and now they are. And for the slow ones again, no, ain't made females want to rap because bitches been rapping. Bitches have been talent, but the music industry... Girl, okay, look.
I know what she's saying, but your face is absolutely killing me right now.
Because when you there's, I shouldn't even have read it.
You tried.
Because I know what she's trying to say.
Right.
But reading it out loud is only confusing.
I'm glad you did though, because I get it. And I do think I see what she's saying, and I think she has a point. In that for a long time, Nicki absolutely dominated the female rapper conversation. Even though she didn't say Nicki, when she said before me, I think we all know that's what she meant.
Oh, let me point out one shady thing before you continue that she did say.
Oh, okay.
When someone said Cardi on here lying again, she retweeted. She retweeted it and said, I'm lying, so you tell me what rappers was giving features to female rappers, what label was pushing a female rapper, what TV music show was inviting female rappers. Only 2 female rappers for years, and one ain't last too long. Now you tell me I want to see something. So most believe that she's talking in those 2 female rappers for years and one ain't last too long. She's talking about Nicki and Iggy Azalea.
That's what I was thinking. And she's not wrong. Like, if you wanted to know about female rappers, you had to go seek them out. Like, it wasn't like it was hidden necessarily, but they weren't getting promoted. They weren't everywhere. And her success with Bodak Yellow and all that had a lot of niggas reaching for the girls that they had on the shelves. Like, she's not wrong about that part. I think niggas just saw Cardi B said she paved the way for bitches and immediately decided to react.
But she really didn't. She was just saying, like, my involvement and when I came in, how I came in really did change the way a lot of people in the industry were approaching the women on their roster or women in general. And so when I looked at this, like, I kind of agree with her to an extent. I feel like she is right in what she's getting at. And I wish that she wasn't so reactive to every little criticism that she gets online, because, like, niggas are just going to gun for you, sis. Like, you very clearly about the bag and you've been doing it well, and people have been trying to take every opportunity to, like, you know, just criticize you or get people to look at you in whatever kind of light, you know, whatever. So it is what it is. I think, though, that Cardi was like a part of a moment for rap, specifically for women in rap. She was involved in a moment that involves more than just her, that led to the situation that she's talking about. Because Sheetha really doesn't get enough credit for what it did for the entire landscape.
Okay, that's true.
Sheetha, and
Sheetha was huge.
It wasn't just the song or Remy Ma alone either. It was the song and the nerve of the song alongside the way that Nicki responded to it at the time. Because when Here Comes Remy Ma, someone that had been argued as, you know, one of the best lyricists for women, and people had been saying, oh my God, if Remy Ma was out of jail, then Nicki blah, 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 whatever, the bullshit. That has been proven to not even be true. But she released a song that was so just audacious and scathing, on top of the fact that Nicki at first for like a solid month was just not reacting to it. She was just wearing visors in Paris for Fashion Week, acting like she was above it and she didn't have to like really fight for it. Because up until that point, she was really sitting pretty, very comfortable, no serious competition. Even when Iggy was having a great run, nobody was really like,
it was never a competition.
Right. No. So that was the one time where I feel like probably the only time in Nicki's career where she really was like, okay, how do I need to go about dealing with this? And it took her a little too long, in my opinion, to figure out how she was going to deal with it. Not to mention, when she did, it wasn't like a hard hitting, I'm going to come back at you. She decided to, I'm going to take that shit that you just made down because it samples a song by my friend. Then I'm not even going to come at you on no serious rappy rap shit. I'm going to come at you with a song that you're going to hear all of the time, featuring 2 of the biggest rappers in the fucking game right now. And so that was like arguably smart from a sort of marketing, whatever, petty standpoint. But for people who like actually are into rap and are unbiased as far as everything goes, it was kind of like, And then right on the heels of that, here comes Belle Khalees with Bodak Yellow. Not even trying super hard. Likable girl, very funny. Was just on that show making us laugh. And to our surprise, the songs are not that bad. And the raps are not that bad. And she's just someone that we all kind of know from the hood, if you've been to the hood or if you've spent time in the hood. And she was just likable. So I feel like with her coming out and being successful, alongside the talk of Remy Ma versus Nicki, now we're looking at 3 women in rap. I think that in itself created this situation where more niggas in the industry were like, okay, well, what does Rico have to say? Fans too. What does Rico Nasty have to say? And what is this Megan? Because Megan Thee Stallion had been out. Megan Thee Stallion been out. Rico Nasty had been out. Lizzo had been out. Like all these girls had been out, had albums, had mixtapes and all that stuff. But it was after I think Cardi came out, in the midst of this, we're only paying attention to one girl thing. And I think the only reason that we stopped paying attention to one girl is because this girl who had already been out seriously challenged the one girl that we had been paying attention to. And while that was going on, homegirl slides in. So I say that long piece of ranting to say that I sort of agree with what Cardi is saying, because I think that she was a part of a moment that really changed the way that fans and execs were looking at women in rap. Now you got Rico, you got Megan, you got Saweetie, you got this and that and the third and whatnot. But like, of course it's going to have this split in opinion on who really did this and who really did what. And you didn't open for this. And well, Nicki did da. Even though she's, if you really read between the lines, she's giving Nicki the credit that she should. She's just saying like, there had been tons of women surrounding Nicki Minaj before me, including me.
Yep.
And it wasn't until that moment that more people were like, oh, well, then I guess let's give this person a chance too. And that person and that person and that person. So,
yeah, I definitely think you have a point as far as like ShETHER did not make it any easier on Nicki Minaj. Like if Cardi broke through, it's because ShETHER cracked the ceiling or whatever. Like
ShETHER was Nicki's one significant wound.
It was a big chink in her armor.
Yes.
It was like, damn, like Remy Ma really came for you. She hit in a million different ways. You took forever to come back. And then when you did come back, it was real, like, we've heard you decimate niggas before. We've heard you go in on niggas before. And this was just not that.
It was like, that wasn't the energy that you brought for her.
Right.
So then it was almost like her, I don't want to say her ability, but it was just like maybe her legitimacy. Something was just called into question.
You know, and we
Nicki.
saw that same thing again when Cardi ran up on her ass at the whatever the fuck, and she was hiding behind them bodyguards.
That's a different thing, because that's not really hip hop. That's street shit.
I mean,
that's I Want to Fight You.
But you be talking shit. It's like, you be talking shit though. So if you're going to be hiding behind the bodyguards while a bitch is like really asking you what's up, then it's like, you really don't get to say shit else about what you going to do and how you smack hoes and how you have your niggas do
I see what you're saying.
Because you was right there and you did not take the space.
I see what you're saying, but that was like long after, you know, by that point, Nicki and Cardi were in the same rooms. Cardi was, you know, plenty big by that point and stuff like that. It was like at the height of some separate drama. But I definitely think that Remy Ma shook the table. And as the table was shaking, Cardi danced on top of it.
Yeah, I think that.
And then everybody was like, everybody patted these other rap girls on the shoulder and was like, get in there, go in there, she dancing, go join her.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
And turns out a lot of them can get along and jump on each other's songs, and most of them are out rapping these little mumbling ass niggas who are sing-songing their asses on everything. Like, the girls are here and they're good. And I'm grateful for the whole landscape changing, but I never thought about, you know, this. I didn't even hear about this Cardi story, so I don't think I ever would have attributed it to her without her saying that.
You know,
I mean, but you really can't deny ShETHER. You wore a pink diamond chicken wing chain. That the first time I heard that, I actually had to stop the whole fucking track.
She did.
She went the fuck in.
And a lot of the stuff that she was saying, like, I'm sure she just pulled out of the air, just said for pettiness and stuff like that. But it was so just, good. Again, outside of how you feel about that song lyrically, it was just so nervy. She, like, Remy Ma just literally said, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
And I'm going to do this. And just the drama surrounding it changed the game, I think. And Cardi was on the tail of that, so I give her credit for it as well.
I think that's a valid point.
Speaking of female rap, Iggy Azalea and Tiana are going back and forth ish still.
See, now why is that?
A couple of weeks ago, T.I. made a comment with The Root about Iggy Azalea, and he referred to her as like something that tarnished his legacy as a music executive or something.
Oh, yeah.
He compared it to when Michael Jordan played baseball, and Iggy Azalea clapped back very quickly. And I don't remember what she said, but essentially it was, you got bigger things to worry about. That was really what it was. Like, it was like, you got way bigger things to me, or you've had way larger tarnishes to your legacy aside from myself.
I mean, as much as I hate to agree with her, she's not wrong. I would love to laugh at that. I would love to laugh at T.I. saying that she was his biggest mistake. But, you know, this nigga has been in jail more times than I can count. So, I mean, and the way he has publicly disrespected his wife / mother of his children.
I guess that's why he's tried to be specific in terms of his music.
Oh, he said work. Oh, okay.
Yes, he said as far as being an executive is concerned.
Okay. That's right. Choose your words. So, I mean, so then maybe I do agree with him. I don't know about too many other T.I. missteps.
So he appeared on The Breakfast Club this week or last week, recently, today. And he, I'm not even sure what he was there to promote. I know he's got a podcast now, and he's again on that Cardi B show.
Good God.
And
a podcast.
Yeah, I forgot what the fuck it's called too. It's some weird, clever name.
It's just him looking up words in the thesaurus.
No, I can't remember what it's called, but whatever. So he was on The Breakfast Club and they talked about many things, including Blacktivism, Kanye West.
Expeditiously.
Oh, is that what it's called?
With the T.I. capitalized. Of course. It would be a thesaurus word.
That's what it was.
Like I said.
And I feel like that's one of his faves. I also enjoy the word expeditiously. So he was on The Breakfast Club. They talk about all of these things and they also bring up these Iggy Azalea comments. And he basically said that he felt like she was meant to be great and that when she found out that white people liked her and she didn't really need black people to like her anymore, she switched up and started acting different and made moves that placed his reputation in the line of fire. And he also said that she was very arrogant about it. And it led to, I guess, people around him saying that they wasn't fucking with that. And then he also criticized her rap, saying that they were dope at first and that she had help, but then she exposed too much of herself or something.
Is this like when Fancy went #1 for
I'm guessing around then, because Fancy was when white girls specifically were like, oh, I love this girl and we can do hip hop too. That's right, inclusion. So
that's true. Okay.
So maybe around then, I don't know.
But I'm trying to remember when she signed with T.I. because I do remember it. But
I don't remember the year. I remember Murder Business.
It's just right. Murder Business is the one and only song with T.I. that I remember her releasing. I don't know if anything.
That was when I remember noticing that she was acting different.
Yeah.
But I don't. Okay, so this is what she says. She says in response to this, several things, of course. When will this guy shut up? The only song you were ever a part of making was 100, which I'm guessing was on her first album. Thank you for that, but you were not a part of the creative or executive process on the album, which is why I've always taken issue with you trying to approximate yourself with its success. People move on and speak about artists you are hopefully actually helping. Oh, please move on. I'm dyslexic as shit. And speak about artists you are hopefully actually helping. And stop trying to bring me up for relevance. I don't bring your ass up. No one is asking about you. I'm trying to be nice because I genuinely have better and more interesting things happening. But seeing a man speaking out of his asshole and blurting our one thing in public and another in private for years is really infuriating. Keep it pushing, sweetie, and worry about what your next storyline is for Family Hustle. And she later went to tweet some quote from T.I. where he said that he's never written for her, which I don't think anybody actually thought, but...
Right.
What I take away from this is that these niggas are saying two completely different things at each other unnecessarily that none of us need to hear.
Okay.
And I believe both of them. It sounds to me as though T.I. is saying that behind the scenes for him as a street nigga from Atlanta, people were like, what is this with this white bitch from Australia that you're trying to make happen?
Right.
And I don't see it. I don't like her attitude and she don't give a fuck about the game. What time is it for real?
Right.
On her side of things, it sounds like she's saying, well, you didn't really do much besides, grab at some cash when we work together, so I don't even know why you talking about me. Like, you...
So both of you have a point.
Have better things to do. I have better things to do. Why are you even discussing Iggy Azalea in 2019? And I just see both sides.
So maybe I'm just too disconnected from white culture, but is Iggy Azalea successful?
Iggy Azalea is a very pretty white woman.
Okay.
surgery and all, who still finds ways and works with people to create catchy songs that there are enough white kids and gays that appreciate still to this day.
Right.
She's not nearly as successful as she was at the height of her career, but I wouldn't say that Iggy Azalea is doing poorly, especially when you consider all things.
Right.
So...
And there are a lot of things
There
to be
are a
considered.
lot of things to consider.
I had no idea she was even still making money. Last I heard, she owed Amex a whole bunch of money, and
I don't even know what you're talking
she
about.
was probably going to have to go back to Australia or something.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yes, we talked about it. You told me about it on this show. How do you...
I must have been reading about this and then just put it out of my mind because I usually do.
I wouldn't know shit about her otherwise, but yeah. Okay, well, sure then.
I mean,
it would be great for us to never hear her name again. Like, I agree. T.I., stop bringing her. Well, I don't even know if he's bringing her up or being asked about her, but
it sounds like...
Let's put the brakes on talking about her.
They at the Breakfast Club asked about her this time. The previous time, I don't remember what the question was specifically. It was like maybe if you could do anything differently or something. And he said he wanted to find a female rapper that could undo the blunder of Iggy Azalea, which is what she reacted to. And they just asked him about it.
Right. Okay. Got you.
But it's like, you know what? You saw some dollar signs behind P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Ways.
That's right. And you weren't wrong.
And you were not wrong. Probably one of the best monetary decisions you made.
Sherman 42 Wallaby
And now we're done because I don't want to hear any more of this. Crikey, T.I.
Yeah, let that girl do whatever she's doing. Cause I have just completely washed my hands of her. I don't know what's going on in her life, so just let her.
Mama came over here. She wanted to be rich. Any means necessary. Almost very similar to a Cardi B.
Okay.
She just has no hood credibility. At least Cardi has literally fought in the streets of the Bronx
her whole life.
You know what I'm saying? Like she at least knows the hood and the culture for all of the other things.
I would have believed Murder Business coming from Cardi B. way sooner than I would.
Bang.
Way sooner than I'm gonna believe it from Iggy Azalea.
We are in the murder business, girls.
Iggy Azalea has never shot anything harder than a BB gun. Not ever once in her life. Maybe a Nerf gun.
Maybe a cum.
Maybe a water gun. A cum?
Shot.
I want to go home. What?
I don't know.
Why did that have to happen to me? What?
I wish everyone well.
Oh God, yeah. Let's just stop talking about each other. That would be great.
Floribama accent.
Yeah, all that.
Whatever else.
You are the worst.
Rapper singer Lizzo is suing some white boys for saying that she plagiarized their song Healthy for her song Truth Hurts.
Oh, Lord.
Still #1.
You can't be that successful without people coming for your neck.
It's
not
a
possible.
Given. Like anytime, especially when it's like, girl, not only have they won, they are still winning out here, bitch.
Yeah.
Weeks and weeks in a row, someone has to come out the woodworks and be like, I object.
Yeah.
So these boys, Justin and Jeremiah Risen, claim that Lizzo was present for a writing session for this song called Healthy that they wrote in 2017. And it included the line, I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% that bitch. And obviously that is one of the big parts of Truth Hurts. Mm-hmm. So they are suing her. They said they were only asking for 5% each, but they were shut down every time.
5%, that is a huge percent of Truth Hurts. That is a huge percent, girl. What?
We were just asking.
That is 10%.
15%. Because I think there's another one too. But
oh, hell no. Girls.
Anyway, the thing about this is that the line, I just took a DNA test, turns out I'm 100% that bitch, was made a part of a meme after a girl named Mina Lioness on Twitter tweeted that on Twitter.
Right.
And that is where these niggas, these guys, admittedly got the line from, the same way that Lizzo did. And Lizzo has given this girl songwriting credits on her #1 song for that tweet.
Oh, so then they just sit down somewhere.
And Mama Lioness has already said thanks a bunch.
Well, yeah.
I guarantee had your song gone #1, you weren't going to be offering this black girl no goddamn money.
That's right.
So what are we talking about? And Lizzo said, you know what? I'm tired. So actually what we're going to do is you go ahead and deal with that paperwork.
Straight like that, bitch. Because
leave that girl alone.
Why would you ask for proceeds from a song that you know good and damn well you didn't even write the lyric that you said she didn't write? It's like, nigga, you didn't write it either. So what is going on here?
Because I had that idea too from Twitter, and I just didn't get it popping first.
I said I was gonna steal the lyric first, and she stole it and made it hotter. Like, what is that really the argument here? Everybody calm down. Like, I know that this is just kind of like a desperate cash grab, because again, the song is way too popping for people to not be pulling all kind of tricks out their ass. But if this line was really written by somebody else, tweeted like years before it appeared in any song or whatever, then it's great that Lizzo gave the girl songwriting credits and now she'll get her money. I'm sure it's a lot of money.
Look, for out of nowhere, for some shit I just tweeted.
Listen, this is just a blessing. And honestly, somebody needs to take one of my tweets and put it in a song. Please, just let me fucking know. Like, we can share this in a very fair way. But anyway, yeah, like, she already gave the girl who actually wrote his songwriting credits. So what the fuck are y'all even doing here?
It's just like any reason to attach yourself to somebody who's super winning by any fine thread in your imagination that you have a connection to that person and what the fuck they're doing. Yeah. And it's very odd, but okay, fine.
And let that be a cautionary tale to all of you inspired by memes, because it happens to a lot of us. And you never know who created that shit, but they will find your ass as soon as you start making some money.
So break this last thing down, because I don't fully understand, but apparently people have been flaming Summer Walker for taking baths in a bowl.
Oh, so
Summer Walker, R&B singer, newly successful for her latest album. She took a photo on Instagram, and it looked like a mixing bowl. I really don't know what this is.
It's a large bowl.
Okay.
Probably a large mixing bowl, yeah.
And it's got some Dr. Teals in here, Lil Johnson & Johnson. Is this a Hooters bag? I don't know what this is in the song. But a lot of this is like, I know that a lot of you ladies and gentlemen have like your products and things. Right. So some of these other things I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. Maybe a toner. This is a facial wash. So this is all in a bowl, and it says here in the little caption, my washing bowl, LOL, I get to wash in my bowl. I hate showers. So people have been calling this girl dirty and dragging her like all damn day, it seems. And she responded on another IG comment where she says, stay out of my comments with that dummy shit. I take showers. I don't like them because I like baths in very nice jacuzzi or garden tubs. If I don't have time or whatever, I'll take a whole bath in the sink, something that every female has taken in their lives. Yes, I use soap. Fuck, I hate people, man. Who the fuck really?
Woo, the realness. Okay, that's real.
Fuck, I hate people, man. Who the fuck are really walking around never washing themselves? LMAO, people are really just mad miserable.
Well, I will say that.
Ever taken a hoe bath?
Yes, I have taken a hoe bath before, which is why, like, this incident by itself would not have made me think, like, saying, LOL, I hate showers or whatever. I would not have automatically assumed she was dirty. But a few months ago, a video came out of her like licking a towel and rubbing it all over her face and chest to get her body makeup off. And so it was.
Oh, I saw that video.
Right. And so when I saw that a few months ago, I was like, oh, what is happening here?
Again, like, I don't know.
Summer Walker can't afford no Neutrogena oil or something to just go and take that makeup off real quick. Like, it was bizarre to see her on Instagram Live licking a towel and then scrubbing her face. I just did not know what that was. So then when this, here's my bowl of hygiene products picture came out, I was like, well, actually, I'm not really all that surprised by this because this girl uses spit as a makeup remover. Like, but But I just that was really where I came from it. Like, that's how I approach the whole situation, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't really give a shit if you're dirty or not. I like her music. It's not like I'm trying to sniff her or kiss her or fuck her. So she can be however dirty or clean or hygienic or not as she wants to be, as long as she's still making music that I like. I really don't give a shit about that.
I don't care.
But you could not have shocked me with that at all, because I saw the girl use her own spittle to remove makeup.
I just really didn't know what to make from this, because I was like, I know that a lot of the ladies, y'all have like other techniques and other things you got to do. You know what I'm saying? I saw like a whole clip where she was talking about taking her wig. No, she had gone out to the club and like sweated. And so I guess her lace had like popped or whatever. Was lifting, yeah. And she was agitated by that shit.
Yeah,
so I'm like, here go another thing that I know I'm never going to have to fucking think about.
Yeah.
So I looked at this bowl full of products and I'm like, this seems like something I don't know nothing about. Cause like,
she got to get a better glue. And then you can't go sweat the same day you get it on. You got to let that shit set for a good 24 hours.
I'm
sure she know that now. I've been there before too, sis.
Touring right now a lot. I believe she is, and so it is probably a different shower, tub, whatever, when you get a chance to bathe every chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not judging this girl. You just got here too, so I'm not even finna get on your head about whatever.
Listen,
the fuck
that song Come Through with Usher, I play that all the time. I fucking love that song. I think she's so talented. And it's a lot of girls out here making a similar sound, but very few of them I feel can actually sing. And she's not disappointed me with her voice yet. So I just really was like, okay, that's Summer Walker, being a little bit of a weirdo.
She reminds me of like one of those girls that I would have put on mix CDs for niggas in high school.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, niggas, you were so
100%.
on, like, oh my God, I need God Send Me an Angel from the heavens above.
Wow, and she really could not sing. God, that song was so bad. Y'all really let that shit rock. I mean, I know my community did for obvious reasons, but the rest of y'all really let that happen.
Amanda Perez, Shanice. Like, I used to stay with these motherfuckers on mixed CDs for the girls. Like,
no.
Why are you making hunch CDs? We're sophomores. Like, it was just so confusing to me that you guys have these bad rocking albums you want me to make. I'm 15.
No, that was not my life.
Well, that's it for Hot Tops, whatever I called it. The Hunch and Black of Notre Dame.
That's right.
Or Notre Dame. I don't really know. Whatever. And we'll be right back with the letters. Hey, also listen, we all need someone to speak to about a number of things. You name it. I'm sure I could just guess 3 right now, and probably it applies to whoever it is listening to this right now. And that is where Talkspace comes in. Is it the clutch? Yes. It's therapy for how we live today, because it is mobile. If you get around, it's affordable if your coins get around, and it's available when you need it. Simply provide whatever your preferences for therapy are to Talkspace, and they're going to match you with one of their over 5,000 therapists the very same day. And then you can talk to your therapist however you want to, whether it's text or audio messages, picture messages, video messages. So maybe you're just like, I told my kids to clean their room 3 hours ago, and here's a photo of the room uncleaned. So I want to choke them. What do I do? Like, whatever is on your mind.
Right.
And 1 month of therapy on Talkspace costs about the same as a single face-to-face session. So no matter what you're going through, know that you're not alone. People are there that care about you and want to be able to help you. So join more than 1 million people who feel happier with Talkspace.
That's right. So many people have benefited from being able to talk to somebody on their own schedule. That is why I love the Talkspace service so much. Again, Talkspace has more than 5,000 licensed therapists who are experienced in addressing the challenges we all face. So to get started and match with your perfect therapist for a fraction of the price of traditional therapy, go to Talkspace.com and use code READ to get $65 off your first month. Again, that's code READ, read at Talkspace.com. Let them know we sent you. Let's get back to the show.
We are back, and it's time for the listener letters.
It is. Send your questions to asktheread@gmail.com. We may just read them aloud on the show. This one comes from Riley, who says, I'm a 23-year-old queer Black man, and back in July, I decided to drop everything and leave my hometown of Cleveland to run off to New York.
All right.
He put in the subject, y'all told my Black ass not to come here. So he's aware.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really concern myself with future planning, and I was so in my feelings over not achieving anything in life, such as a higher education or independent living or a happy monogamous relationship. And so along with being depressed and trapped in the mentality that I needed to remove myself from family, friends, and home, I left. I found out that the city's program, HASA, for HIV positive clients assists with housing, job placement, food stamps, cash assistance, etc. And I thought their institution was all I needed to make a living in the city. But man, was my ass wrong. They assigned me to a shelter that gives me a personal room but has shared bathrooms on each floor, and they're either broken or not clean. Usually when meeting with my caseworker, she asks if I'm doing my own footwork, meaning am I looking for a place to stay with my HASA voucher. Unfortunately, trying to find an owner or a realtor that will work with me once they find out I'm with HASA is a challenge of its own. The job developers are very inconsistent and almost never available, and I have no idea where I'm going ever when I'm out and about in Manhattan. I remember them days. I want to make new friends, but I feel that to others, I'll just be seen as a bum and they'll want nothing to do with me. My parents have tried contacting me, but I don't answer because I don't want to tell them what this is really like or how much I miss them. I'm starting to regret coming here. The feeling of being expected to figure things out when I know nothing about this place is so familiar to home, and I'm almost ready to throw in the towel. Am I being stupid, and should I give up and go home, or should I fight for a new life and hope to see a brighter side of this struggle? Sincerely, Riley.
So Riley, I don't know why. I don't know why the idea of like Groundhog's Day or one of those types of movies comes to me, but I'm comparing New York to the sense of like your first few experience of it are kind of like, oh my God, what is going on? Everything is here so crazy and everything sucks and I just don't understand why I'm going through this.
Right.
And after a while of you get used to it and you wake up and then you punch that person in the face that you know is going to be there, and you don't trip down the stairs at one time because you remember there's a crack there.
Yep.
And it's just like, it's not necessarily the circumstances, the experience, or the setting that gets better. You just get adjusted to how ain't shit it can be sometimes, and you find your little groove in there, and then before you know it, you just sort of work around with it. So I still speak very openly about the cons of New York because I feel strongly about them, and I don't feel like it's necessary to go with this idea that New York is just this perfect city where all your dreams can come true just because that's the narrative that I guess people wanted to have. I'm not from here, so I don't have to do that. But at the same time, there's a lot of potential in New York.
There is.
New York is responsible for a lot of the self-growth and personal growth that I have gone through. Either just by being really, really tough on me and forcing me to figure things out by myself, or just being the setting that I learned a lot about myself I probably would have in another place anyway. So I'm still grateful for a lot of the experiences that I've had in living here, and a lot of the connections I've been able to make out of living here. I wouldn't choose another place to have moved to, but I gave it the opportunity to just get on my nerves rather than rattling the foundation of the life that I'm standing on.
Right.
And I absolutely vividly remember getting up and wondering why I'm still here. I absolutely remember feeling 100% certain that I was going to leave. And I'm still here, paying my bills and taxes. So I would say stick it out and give yourself a chance and just sort of commit to the idea that it's going to be very difficult for a while, and eventually you'll fall into the groove. It doesn't really matter where you move. For most people, moving, especially to a different city and state, is incredibly difficult. Even if you land with a great job when you get there and you have maybe 2 friends there, the whole adjustment to a new setting, new different kinds of people, the tone of the environment you're living in, all of that is rough. But New York is just even tougher because of all of the things that make New York, New York. But you can do it. It's not impossible. It's just hard and expensive and cold.
Right. Especially because you came from Cleveland. So maybe the weather is similar enough, but the way of life is not.
Yeah.
You know, y'all live a totally different lifestyle in Cleveland, Ohio than people do in New York City. And so you're adjusting to a lot right now. You've only been here for like 3-4 months. So while I really do understand the frustration, I think if you felt uncomfortable or not at ease at home too, and you feel like you can keep trying, then it's worth it to keep putting in the effort with this city. Like, it is hard to find housing. You are right about that, especially when they know you have a voucher or something. But when things click and you do find an apartment that is great for you and in your budget or whatever else, and then you do get a job and things start clicking and moving in the right direction, it's like, there's so much potential, like your Fury said, in the city. There's so much that could happen just because you're here and in the mix of all this shit going on. Like, it's a reason people want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, we are also getting into the winter, which is hard. It's a hard sell for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that definitely was the thing I hated the most about the city when I first got here. But
yep.
It is hard. If it was easy to live in New York City, a lot more people would do it. Like, that first year, I can't even tell you how many times I just cried in public because shit was just hard.
Mm-hmm.
The city absolutely kicks your ass.
Yeah.
So,
unless you move here and you're rich when you get here.
Right.
Like,
which, can't relate because
you honestly got to be like wealthy to be rich here.
I was right. No. And rich here is richer than it meant at home, and poor here is poorer than it meant at home. Everything is to a bigger extreme, and it's just the city will absolutely
it's set
change
up to be
you.
that way.
Right? It's set up to be hard.
Yep.
It's set up to kick your ass, and so if you just like fuck it, like this is not worth it. I am not going to be in a shelter during the winter months. I'm going back home and I'm talking to my parents. That's valid too. You don't necessarily have to be miserable.
Loads of the girls do that. And let me tell you something. Lots of them come right back.
Yep, they come back or they move to some other big city like LA or Miami or something like that where they're happier, or even Atlanta, right?
I know it's a bunch of niggas was like, don't say us! Stay where you at, girl.
I deliberately did not say Atlanta because Atlanta cannot handle the number of people who drive into that city every day. It can't handle it. Don't nobody else need to move down there. Leave Atlanta alone for a little while.
What's Atlanta? Never heard of it. Bye, girls.
That traffic is so bad. I feel bad for visiting Atlanta. I'd be like, I'm part of the problem because I'm here. It is just so bad. But anyway, it's going to be hard anywhere. And also, you're only 23 years old. You got a lot going on. So be gentler with yourself. Don't put so much on yourself. You don't have to be at a certain level in life or have a certain amount of stuff accomplished or whatever else. Like, I really feel for you kids who grew up on Instagram because this shit, it is a lie. Like, Instagram is a highlight reel. People are not putting their worst, their most down, their lowest, their saddest moments on most of them, mate. Some of them are, but most people are not doing that. So stop comparing yourself to what everybody else has going on and focus on you, your growth, what makes you happy, and you'll be all right.
Right.
And maybe that's in New York and maybe it's not, but you did just kind of get here. So if you want my advice, I say stick it out for at least 6 months and see how you feel. Although it'll be peak winter then, so you'll probably want to go home. Because I'm telling you, if it's mild, then it's okay. But when them blizzards start coming every other day, bitch, it's just the exact opposite of the type of weather that I prefer and thrive in. But good luck to you, because you're going through it in a way that I can very much remember going through it. That's what this city does to you, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right. Our next question comes from Sharnice, who says, I'm a 28-year-old single mother from Georgia. I recently broke up with my boyfriend, who I had been dating off and on for a little over a year. We started out as friends with benefits until I realized that I'm not the kind of woman who is okay with not having a title or commitment. Once I said that I needed more, he flat out said that he couldn't give me what I needed, so I made the decision to leave. Okay. After about a month, he sent me a message in my DMs asking me to give him another chance. He said he was ready to try and get more serious with our situationship and gave me the commitment I needed. After a few months, the topic of his baby mama came up. He did not want me meeting her, nor did he want to tell her about me. I had a problem with this because his kids were staying at my house. Niggas. Oh my God. This became a huge disagreement, one that ended in us breaking up again. Another month passed and I realized that I loved him and decided to try and compromise how I felt about meeting his baby mama.
Oh my God.
I figured he would introduce us when he was ready. Things were good, but after a few more months, they took another turn. He decided to post a picture of some other woman on his social media, and when I asked him about it, he said it was a, quote, random person who he happened to meet at a club.
But he Okay.
I probably wouldn't have gotten upset about it had he allowed me to follow him on any social media platform or allow me to post him.
Oh, girl.
He won't because I blocked him after our first breakup.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I explained to him that I was hurt by this picture he posted, and instead of him talking about the situation, he decided to just leave my house key on the table and walk out just like that.
Left the key in the hallway.
At this point, I was heartbroken. I was depressed as fuck and had forced myself to exercise just to keep my mind busy.
Oh, girl.
After a few weeks and running into him at the gym, he reached out again to apologize. He said he should have handled things differently and wanted to make it right.
Yeah.
Once again, I took him back.
Mm-hmm.
We promised to work on our communication, to be more open with how we felt, and to not walk away if things got tough.
Right.
Another few months went by, and one day in therapy, I realized I was still bothered by the social media thing. Why won't he add me back? Why can't I post him if we are in a relationship? So I went to him with my thoughts, and he shut them down again. He refused to add me and told me that if I felt some type of way about it, then too bad, because I shouldn't have deleted him in the first place. After calming down and thinking about the entirety of our relationship, I decided I was done. I told him it was over, and I had him bring me my key. Surprisingly enough, I didn't cry or get upset afterwards like I have in the past. I was seemingly okay until about a week ago. It's been a month, and all of a sudden I'm doubting my decision, wondering if I overreacted, checking his social media only to find that I'm blocked, and wondering if he's seeing anyone else. Was I wrong to break up with him over something so small, or did I do the right thing and giving his ass the boot? Side note, my kid's father and I were in a 7-year relationship, and he never took pictures with me, posted me, or let me post him. And I found out later that he was cheating on me with multiple women. I know that my ex and my kid's dad aren't the same person, but I explained to my ex why it bothered me so much, and that my relationship with my kid's father was the reason I was in therapy.
Because people love hearing that.
Can you not? Thanks. Love the show. Shanice,
did you get D and L mixed up and think that you were sending a letter to the real and actually? I can understand why you would give us this information of all people.
Sis. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're in therapy.
Shanice, are you 20?
She is 28. So no. Yeah. So
I'm looking for what's confusing you, but I can't think of anything nice or positive you said about this nigga. So
the thing is, for you, it was really important to be posted on his social media or to be allowed to follow him on social media or whatever else.
She is prohibited from following this
and
nigga.
And it's for a petty reason.
At all.
He's being petty about it. Like, you should have never unfollowed me in the first place. Therefore, you can't follow me again. So it's like, that is messy.
This sounds like Jody and Yvette 2019. I'm so tired.
Oh, God, it does.
Leave that nigga alone. You are fine. 28.
Oh, Sistren.
You know, God willing, you live an everlasting long human life. 28 is plenty young. And there'll be some other nigga that you can block just around the corner.
That's right, girl.
Like, this does, aside from the social media stuff, it sounds like y'all have a dysfunctional relationship.
It does.
Anyway, and you break up however many times, or have broken up however many times, but keep being drawn back to this nigga for whatever inexplicable ass reason. You're breaking up with him for actual reasons. Some of them you're very clear on. Others, it seems like you may be a bit on the fence or confused about. But this doesn't sound like the nigga that belongs with you, and you don't sound like the woman that belongs with this nigga. So
it's true.
I would work in therapy on the processes of healing and moving on and grieving a dead relationship. Sometimes that's the process that I think is the most difficult for people, is to just mourn that a relationship is over and allow yourself to get through that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like,
that's hard though, when you don't want it to be over.
Like when you lose someone through actual like death, and you have no choice. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're never going to see that person again. But when you lose a person in a relationship by breaking up, separating, divorce, whatever the fuck, sometimes it's almost like just a human chemical reaction to fight to get it back, just because there's comfort in that, rather than allowing yourself to just go through the garbage that is your personal feelings when some shit like that is over. But it's temporary. Some people can get over that shit in a month. Some people can get over that shit in a week. Some people, it won't take them it'll take them a year and a half. Maybe it may take you even longer than that to get past some shit. But you will. You just have to give yourself the opportunity to do that and stop feeling like the way to peace of mind and peace of self and validation and all of that is to go back to this comfortable yet toxic situation with this person that you don't want to be with, that won't even allow you to act them. So
yeah, like
girl,
you felt really strongly about it, and he dismissed it straight like that, not giving a fuck how much you cared. So I think that's really all the sign you need, that you're not overreacting, whatever else, because you brought this to him twice and expressed how important it was to you, and he's let you know twice that he's not, whatever it is y'all doing, he's not at a place where he genuinely respects or even forgives you for the sin of unfollowing him the first time y'all broke up. Like, this is so childish.
Both of y'all sound like some very reactive niggas.
And the man, like, right. So it's like, girl, I want you to let go of the idea that there's something wrong with you because you got fed up and said, I'm not putting up with this dumb shit no more.
Right.
Like, that is what should have happened. And obviously, you know, we don't know your life or how you grew up or whatever, but a lot of people who grow up in situations that cause stress or chaos in the home unconsciously look to do the exact same thing in their adult relationships. And of course, like I said, I don't know if that's how you grew up or not, but if you witness this sort of thing growing up, then it makes sense that you're repeating the same patterns in your own adulthood. Like, and like I said, I'm glad you have a therapist, because I feel like y'all really need to get to the bottom of why you miss this man and want to go back to him so much. And I'm not even saying that in a judgmental way, because I've absolutely had to talk to a therapist about a nigga that I knew I did not need to be with and yet still missed.
Like, I feel like many, if not most of us have been in relationships know what this feels like.
Exactly. When it's like, this nigga is no good for me, I'm literally going to cry again. It's a matter of time before he makes me cry again. And yet I miss his black ass. And it's not even always about dick. Sometimes it's just about the connection, or the connection you think you have with that person. A lot of times they emotionally manipulated you on purpose, made themselves seem more available, or sometimes they flat out told us something and then something about us didn't want to receive it or couldn't understand it. Like, there's a lot going on with everybody. But some people are
impulsive and needy.
Yep.
And
that's what I'm saying. It could be either one of y'all, but it's likely both of y'all. And the way y'all shit just does not work with each other.
Because I'm sure you unfollowing this nigga on social media or whatever was on impulse for whatever it was you were upset at the time. The same way you feel this impulse to get back with this nigga at the first sign of feeling, you know, grief for no longer being
or
with
loneliness.
him,
it's hard to be lonely.
Or whatever. It is very hard to be lonely, but it's not something that you can't do. It's just you showing yourself, or God showing you rather, as my pastor once said, what you're able to live without, what you don't necessarily have to. You look at you, alive, alone, living and breathing, walking around and whatever.
Yeah.
So
it's hard though.
It is difficult, but you have to give yourself the ability to do that. You're not about to write in a letter to me and be like, so should I be with this nigga or not? Girl, you know you shouldn't be with the nigga.
Right. Especially when you missing a nigga who was like, girl, you gave us zero reasons for why you should be with him.
Hear one.
You gave us no reasons to advocate for this man. So it's like, yeah, you miss him and you're lonely, but that will fade. And you still got enough time to lock some dick down before the winter really sets in. So if I was you, I would just be focusing on Halloween. It's a very good time of year to trap somebody else's baby daddy for a few months. So, you know, your options are wide open here, sis. You really don't need to be worried about a nigga who has made it very clear that he does not give a shit about your feelings. So yeah, continue to talk to your therapist about it. Like I said, no shame in that, because I did it for many, many weeks until I finally got through my shit. So.
And have I.
Woo! And then it's like when you finally get to the root of why you're doing this, you were like, God damn, dog. So that's why.
I will never forget the first time
That's why I was so worried about your stupid ass. That's why.
I'll never forget it. I will never forget that first time. And I was like, oh, nigga. This is it.
Wow.
And it was the most freeing thing. But nobody forced me into it.
Right.
There wasn't any particular action that I took or did not take that led me to that. It was time.
Yep.
It literally just was a day where something just snapped for me. And I was like, oh, nigga, why are you doing this? This does not even make any motherfucking sense. And from that day on, not only did I look at that particular situation, I've never looked at niggas in general the same way.
Right.
And I don't think that makes me, it's not like a jaded or negative thing or anything like that. It's just like when you know better, you do better.
Right.
When you have to like experience things and allow yourself to in order to go into the next situation better. You already telling this nigga, oh, well, you remind me of this other nigga or whatever. And like that's, you know what I mean? I'm not that nigga. Right. I'm not that girl. I'm not that whatever. Like we already off on the wrong foot because you're carrying something that you should have learned from into this situation that I have nothing to do with.
And it's real to be in therapy about it or whatever, but you can't expect people to be ready to invest their whole heart knowing that you in therapy behind another nigga. Which is great. Again, it's great that you in therapy about it. But like, if you tell me that when we first started dating, I'm going to set my expectations for you right then and there. And it's not going to be until you let me know the growth and progress you've made through therapy that I'm ever going to let my guard down with you.
Anytime you say it, we could have been dating for a solid year. If you tell me, oh, well, the reason I be acting like this is because my baby father or my ex-boyfriend or my ex-girlfriend or wife or whatever the fuck.
It's rough.
Acted like such and such and such and it fucked me off. And it's like, that's fair because many people have been there as well.
Yeah.
But I am human. I'm not like, and I'm not a trained professional in the art of dissecting your emotions the way that your therapist is. So bringing that to me, okay, we can acknowledge that and I can acknowledge that you're human, but now I'm uncomfortable and I have to like second guess every step I made.
Right.
And wonder if you are processing that as
you don't deserve that. Right.
You know, saying this to you or doing this with you or your ex.
Right.
And that's just no help for everybody.
That's not fair for you either.
So you need to be separate from this nigga and working on your you.
Yeah.
So that in the future when you're with some other nigga that is not him, you're better equipped to handle all of the fuckery that happens in every relationship anyway.
Yeah. I definitely went off on my ex one day for like no good reason. And then after I had thought about it. Well, no, because after I thought about it for a while, I was like, you know, I'm sorry that I wilded out on you because of some shit that happened and I haven't like processed my trauma. Like you didn't deserve that bullshit. So I do think it's also important to apologize when you know you're wrong, but it takes a lot to get to the place where you're like, damn, I went crazy on that nigga because of XYZ and not necessarily because of anything that nigga did. This is one of the few times in my life I've been wrong and now I have to apologize and let this person know that, you know, this is why I fucked up, but I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm just telling you so that you know. And I am going to make an effort to not hurt you with my shit anymore.
I think that has a lot to do with recognizing relationships as cooperation and not competition. Like it's not like
that's a word.
You don't have to always be trying to win every dispute,
you can just be here.
Disagreement. Sometimes it could be like, you know what? Looking at it, I am wrong in this situation, or I was wrong in this situation, or even I see where you're coming from and why you're reacting to this. So let me chill or back off a bit or whatever. But a lot of people don't look at it like that situation, especially when you're in the moment of it or things get heated or whatever. And it's like, I just want to be right. And I want you to hear
and that was it.
That I'm right. And I feel like that's the thing that a lot of people, friends, relationships, lovers, family, lots of people struggle on. Sometimes you have to recognize that it's not competition. It's a cooperative effort of us meeting in the middle whenever we can and at least understanding and respecting where each other is coming from. But she was like, oh, I saw that red heart or them hard eyes and you are blocked, sis. And now y'all had makeup sex and this nigga was like, oh, well, now I get to like bitches and not even see. They don't took the activity shit off of Instagram. Now you can't even see who's liking what, bitch.
Right. Oh, no. You're not coming back over here, girl.
To freedom. Never again. You did me a favor.
Yeah, I mean, I know you were with your baby daddy since you were like 19, 20 years old. So yeah, of course you got shit to deal with as far as that nigga is concerned. Of course you do. And that's fair. Take your time to get through your shit because you deserve to grow from whatever it is you're going through just like everybody else does. And good luck to you and your man. Y'all do need to stay apart, though.
Yeah, far apart.
Y'all really need to, sis. Yeah. Resist that urge. Okay, last question comes from, I need a random name for a girl. Trey-Lise, who says, my boyfriend and I have been together for almost 2 years, and everything has been going great. But one thing is bothering the shit out of me. Mm-hmm. We moved in together after about 1.5 years, and he constantly...
okay.
They've been living together for about 6 months. Mm-hmm. He constantly reminds me of how much money he has, and he is super cheap. I work 6 days a week just to keep my little bit of life together, and he knows how much I struggle, yet I'm always the first to reach for my wallet when we go out or grocery shopping or for stuff for the home.
Okay.
This man wants to eat all organic and wants to buy locally made stuff, which is great if you can afford it, but I'm starting to lose my mind. Mm. I love him dearly and we both work hard, but he is so cheap with me when I'm not cheap with him at all, because if he wants something, I believe he deserves the best and I want to give him that.
Oh, girl.
What do I do with this cheap ass man? How do I talk to him about it? We live together and share everything, but when it comes to money, I always hesitate because 1, it's not my money, and 2, we're not married, therefore I'm not entitled to anything. And 3, I don't want to argue over money that I have no claim over whatsoever. I work really hard and struggle a lot, but he never offers to help me in any way. And it makes me mad because I know if it was the other way around, I would help him in any way I could.
You want to.
Right.
Like, there's, okay.
Because I know I can, because I have done it in the past and I was happy to help. How do I tell him that him constantly talking about how much money he has is really off-putting and makes me feel like shit? Thanks. Love you guys. What'd you say? Trey-Lise. Trey-Lise.
I would say, Darren, listen, because his name is Darren.
Okay.
What is it that she asked if she could say? How do I let him know?
That the way he is constantly talking about how much money he has is off-putting and makes me feel like shit.
Darren, the way that you're constantly talking about how much money you have is off-putting and it makes me feel like shit.
That's a good one.
I mean, I'm finished. I don't know.
Trey-Lise got the game fucked up a few different ways here. First of all, if you with a man and still struggle a lot, why are you with a man?
Full stop. You could just said why.
You could struggle. You need to watch the Tyler Perry classic production, I Can Do Bad All By Myself.
Wow.
Like, girl, if the nigga is not a source of support for you in one way or another, then why are you bothering expending all this energy into somebody who, like, is not doing shit for you? Like, to not have money is one thing. To have it and then rub it in your face and then be stingy with it is something else.
That's the thing.
I don't know why you the first one reaching for your wallet when y'all go out or grocery shopping or whatever else. If he makes so much more money than you do, then he should be like, sis, you need to open your mouth here. You need to stop automatically reaching for shit. If you didn't want to spend $8 on a bar of soap, then be like, nigga, I am using that shit that I got down to the Family Dollar because it is reasonably priced. And if you want to buy your organic French soap or whatever the fuck, then you gonna pay for that. This whole, we live together and we share everything, but I have no claim over his money. It's not my money. That's true. That is his money. But if he wants to share a household with you, he's going to have to spend some of it. There's no reason you should be working 6-7 days a week just to barely make ends meet because you picking up the tab for a nigga who's richer than you. Sis Strin, you are doing this relationship all the way backwards. All the way backwards. He gets all of the benefits of living with you, whatever labor you do around the house. You probably cook and cut his toenails and all that bullshit. Plus you putting in what sounds like more than your fair share of the bills, especially considering he has so much more money than you do.
Only way I am clipping anybody's fucking toenails.
The net worth has got to be huge.
Is if you are literally unable. Like you are physically incapable of doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
Either through birth
or
through life. Something has happened and you can't. And I care about you. I will do it then.
I don't even understand why I would need to.
Birthday.
You better come to the nail shop with me, nigga. We can both get pedicures. They do couple pedicures now. We could both go together.
Day night or because
whatever you want. We can do this baby foot peel at the house together,
they got
nigga.
Scrubs. I don't. You got me fucked.
We just sit there and feel good together, boo. I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah. Trelise, you should definitely, I agree. You need to like draw the line in the sand on this one. And dating somebody that's frugal as fuck is already annoying, especially if you live together and share bills and all of that shit. But I can imagine being annoyed by the fact that you dating a nigga and y'all got bills and shit and this nigga is cheap as fuck, but then at the same time, he's reminding you about how much money. Like, I would have no issue verbally saying it's gonna be one of two things. Right. It's gonna be one of these two things. Either you gonna be super, super duper cheap and keep that shit to yourself, your money and all that stuff to yourself. Or if you just have to talk about being, you know, Mr. Big Spender all of the time, you're going to pick up some of these fucking checks, some of these bills, some of these receipts. Yep. All that shit is going to be handled for me. Once again, I don't even understand how, you know, the 2019 nigga is so comfortable being like the anti-nigga from our previous generations. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of niggas that many of us may call granddad, dad, uncle, whatever, were able or felt comfortable flexing their dick around the goddamn house all the time because they were paying the fucking bills.
Right. That was the reason they could do it. That was it.
If they said, shut up, bitch, and bring me the big piece of chicken, they felt comfortable doing that shit because they were paying the goddamn bills.
Every bill in the house, including the chicken bill.
And reminded you about it constantly. How the fuck you reminding the person that you're with all the time about how much money you got all the time?
And you don't never.
But we at Whole Foods and I'm paying for these fucking locally sourced cucumbers or whatever that I don't even fucking want. I'm more than willing to go down to C-Town or Food Barn or what are these motherfuckers and pick up one of those pesticide covered cucumbers like I've grown up doing.
That's right.
You the fuck want the one.
I don't have to go to Whole Foods. I can go to Food
special
Town.
Fucking Harvest Moon Stardew Valley ass cucumbers. I don't give a fuck about that shit. So if you want it, you need to pull out your fucking.
Let me tell you, Playboy. Organic and non-organic fruits and vegetables taste exactly the same to me. So if you gonna be spending all this money, my nigga.
So.
I understand, you know, pesticides and all that shit, but sometimes you ain't got $9 a pound versus $1.38 a pound. So fuck you.
I grew up on Publix chicken. I'm okay.
We probably actually did eat a lot of organic things because people in Oklahoma grow a lot of their own food, but that's not the point.
By the time that I got to like my like young adult years, 11, 12 and stuff like that, we definitely saw a change in the food that was coming into the house. Yeah. Because my mom got super, super, super sensitive about what we were eating and stuff because I think when I was around that age, my father was like diagnosed for having like really high cholesterol or blood pressure or one of those things. Yeah. My mother was like, one thing I'm not going to do is lose my husband. Second thing I'm not going to do is raise these kids by myself. So
a queen. So everybody's tightening the fuck up.
Sugar added, girls. We're eating nothing but fish. Say goodbye to red meat.
See, my house has always been, it was always like that. So we never had a moment where my mama was like, whatever manner of garbage y'all want can come through them doors. No.
We had an era.
The most unhealthy thing we ever had in the house was Kool-Aid.
See, well, I told the story of how I ruined Kool-Aid.
You did ruin Kool-Aid. You did do that.
So the lack of Kool-Aid was my fault. Nothing to do with that.
Oh, so yeah, Charlize,
I want to like
this.
I'm sure, like I know that not having Kool-Aid fucked the whole house.
It did. If I was your sibling, I would still be mad at you. I would still bring it up to this day. To this day, nigga, remember the time mommy said no more Kool-Aid in the house because of your black ass? I would be so pissed.
I just like am interested in. I'm like softening up to the idea of having children lately. Pray for me, anyone who cares.
Wow.
But like that kind of shit is the thing. Like the story my mother told me about the Kool-Aid is one of the things that would like drive you crazy and make your heart sing at the same time. Because just picturing little tiny Kool-Aid footprints.
You be like, wow, that's my little hood rat. That is my little hood rat right there.
That is great. Like, who doesn't?
You can't even be mad because you know you did the same stupid shit.
Goodness. Deval posted some video of the kids
I saw
the other day. I don't even remember which video it was, but it was one of the very many videos he posted of them perfect little kids. And I was like, oh my God, I think I'm going to do this.
Oh, I thought you meant the pumpkin patch picture.
Oh yeah, no, I saw. That's a great example.
That shit.
3 very young boys.
Because Kadeem was looking like, take the fucking picture, get in the fucking car. Like she had absolutely enough.
And Zaval's looking like, I told you.
I told you. Driving an hour to go out to a fucking pumpkin field so that you could have your Instagram moment.
But the kids are still literally perfect.
They
so it's
are.
like, what do you not do?
They're still
like,
so
I get it.
Because you had to harness them 3 kids. And then people in the comments were talking about how, you know, when they were kids, their parents tried to plan a fun day for them and they fucked it up by just being
all
kids.
of us have.
It's like, damn, it's too relatable.
It just seems like a part of just having them.
Yep. These kids are going to fuck it up.
Have you seen Princess Kavya James and her mama
in their matching
and their
costumes?
matching Halloween costumes? First of all, Angelica Ross had already blown me over with her Clover's costume.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good.
Because it was perfect. And then Gabrielle comes and she also is a Clover again for Halloween. The babies and you, like I've already talked about how Kavya is literally like top
she's
human.
Everything.
Like she's
everything.
top 3 favorite
that
people
face,
for me.
That face.
She's just so great. I'm happy she's here. But the fact that Gabrielle literally still looks like it's the year 2000.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Bitch, 20 years have passed and yet not to you? How do you still look like this? And Missy did the same thing.
Yes, with her Super Duper Fly cover.
With the Super Duper Fly cover. I was like, but...
Here's Black refusing to crack.
It's like, oh God, I actually stand being a Black woman because how do y'all look exactly the way you used to look? Okay. All right. So anyway,
I don't even remember what the letter was about. Oh yeah.
Good luck to you, sis. You need to have a lot of hard conversations with him, and probably you're gonna end up leaving this motherfucker. And it sounds like that's for the best. Cause no,
you know what?
Attitude is a no.
At least it's still relatively early as far as relationships go. And one of the benefits of living together or spending enough time together in, you know, a shared space like that is you get to learn these types of things.
That's true.
Which is, I'm all for spending copious amounts of time together at one person's house or the other person's house for an extended period of time before anybody moves in with anybody.
Yeah.
You know, but now you know, and I think that you need to have a conversation with him about it because it shouldn't be, he's being
an asshole, to put it very lightly.
And I was going to say unreasonable. So that's, for lightness.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's being an asshole. He's being completely unreasonable. And it doesn't make any sense that you're sharing a space with a woman that, you know, we were assuming you think you're going to be with forever.
Right.
And you flexing about how much money you got, but at the same time, you want Whole Foods and you don't want to pay for anything.
Watching my partner struggle, knowing that I got it is just signs that I don't actually want this person as a partner, like long term.
Especially from her, like, point of view, because I also remember being that foolish, being the one to be like, because I will absolutely do it for him just because, you know, it's on my heart.
That's my man.
And I just love him. And that's the type of bitch I am.
And I'm a down ass bitch.
And at the end of the day, like, that's the type of bitch I am. You know what I'm saying? If you and me, it's so.
And you hoes are just mad because you don't know how to love your man.
Right.
See, I know how to keep a man. That's why your ass is single and bitter and lonely now, bitch.
Next thing you know, you're on the Breakfast Club like Fantasia.
But sis, you were also bitter and lonely and in a whole ass relationship. I'm at home by myself.
Me and my nigga eating these Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Having a great time.
That we went Dutch.
Listen, the phone rings when I wanted to. I be in there with them, that wine and them fucking video games, nigga.
We just left the salad bar at Ruby Tuesdays. And let me tell you something. I'm not worried about it. So.
Not a motherfucking thing.
I'll never forgive my auntie for eating that fucking salad.
You will never get over it. And it's like, really? Did you want that salad so
I can
bad?
taste the salad now.
Okay.
It's been years.
All right.
Like, wow. If you've never experienced a Ruby Tuesday salad bar, impeccable.
Yeah.
Especially when you are poor in college.
It sounds like a can't miss experience, I'll tell you what.
You don't tell me that you don't have no fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Just barely getting by. Barely getting by. Every meal is a blessing. And then somebody, like, I didn't even get to touch it. It was so perfectly made and just, I had all of the ingredients in the right spot. And then next thing you know, the whole salad, the whole salad gone.
Okay. Send your questions to asktheread@gmail.com. We will be right back. Hey y'all, it's a wireless world out there and everybody needs a great pair of wireless earbuds. But before you go dropping hundreds of dollars on a pair, check out the ones from Raycon. I know you're saying to yourself, Raycon? Like Ray J Con? That's correct, girl.
That's right. We're Team Scooty Bike.
We are contributing to the Scooty Bike empire. But let me tell you for real though, for real. I'm not bullshitting y'all right now. The Raycon earbuds started about half the price of other premium wireless earbuds on the market, and they sound just as amazing as other top brands that you know. The latest model, E25, is their best one yet. It's got 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a compact design that gives you a nice noise isolating fit. And that has honestly been my issue with wireless earbuds. Like,
yes.
Even if the sound is perfectly fine or good, they don't have that noise isolating feature that
one in New York might need.
That you need in a loud city. But I have to say, these are the most noise isolating earbuds I have ever heard before. Like, I was genuinely shocked. They're stylish, they're discreet, there's no dangling wires or stems. Of course, like we said, the company was co-founded by Ray J, but there are lots of celebrities who are into it, like Snoop Dogg, Cardi B, Brandy, of course, J.R. Smith. So pick up a pair and see what the hype is all about. Again, like I said, when it comes to earbuds and price and quality, the Raycons blew me right on away. I can't wait for you to try them out for yourself.
Yes, and I'm actually quite excited myself to say, I mean, I just got mine, but I love how they have like different, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different kinds of fits for your earbuds depending on the size of your ear, because that can also be troublesome. So now's the time to get the latest and greatest from Raycon. Get 15% off of your order at buyraycon.com/thread. That's buyraycon, RAYCON.com/thread for 15% off of Raycon wireless earbuds. Buyraycon.com/thread. Do it for Baby Melody, if nothing else, because we stay in
She
her.
deserves.
They also seem to be very great headphones.
Yeah, they're not bad at all.
Check them out. Let's move on.
Hey, y'all, would you buy a t-shirt for $50 even if you knew it only cost $7 to make? That would be difficult for me personally. Well, with Everlane, you never overpay for quality clothes. Everlane only makes premium essentials using the finest materials without traditional markups. They want you to know what you're paying for and why, so they tell you their real costs and are transparent about every step in the process, from the materials to the ethical factories they work with. That's why Everlane's clothes look better, cost less, and last longer, and because they sell directly to you, their prices are 30 to 50% lower than traditional retailers. Essentials like their Cotton Crew t-shirt are exactly what they should be, which is simple, stylish, and made from quality materials. I have several pieces from Everlane. They have great cashmere. The premium Japanese denim is so nice. I have a pair of white Italian-made leather shoes that I have to wait to wear again, but I cannot wait. A couple of really cute dresses. It's just like really classic clothes that are really well made. And so right now you can check out our personalized collection. That's over at everlane.com/theread. Plus you'll get free shipping on your first order. So again, head to everlane.com/theread. That is everlane.com/theread. Let them know Kefir and Crystal sent you. All right, let's wrap up the show.
We're back, and it is time for the read.
It is.
So I have a couple things to discuss. I'm going to try and do it as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Because I still have work to do when I get home.
Yeah, I have to get in the bed.
So first things first, I saw this clip of an interview that Tank did on, I believe, Angela Yee's podcast, Lip Service. And so they were talking about niggas lying. And it seemed to be on the topic of like, how many times can a nigga lie before he's acknowledged as a liar or something like that?
A lot to cover.
And so the question was asked to Tank, if a nigga said that he like sucked dick twice or something like that, but he's not gay, does that make him a liar? Something to that effect.
Oh, Lord.
To which Tank responded like, not really, twice is excessive, but you know, if he does it and then decides I'm not sure and does it again and decides he doesn't like it, then why is he gay if he doesn't like it, essentially? You know, like a common sense statement.
Yeah.
But
Lord,
of course, from what I saw, this had to lead to a whole bunch of dramatics and questioning Tank's sexuality and things of that nature and all this other shit. So I'm not even here to talk about Tank specifically or the question of how many dicks does one suck before gay. I'm just annoyed by the constant narrative surrounding men and the discussion of sexuality. Like, niggas are not permitted to even talk about sexuality with a free thought process without being accused of being gay or whatever. Like, it's like when you're a straight man, especially a straight man of color, you have to follow a script when it comes to talking about gay shit, sexual shit, or whatever in order to avoid the gay barbs. Oh, I meant like
no, we know, but what a
barbs.
What a great slip of the tongue. I loved it.
Anyway, I just find it incredibly annoying that niggas can't have, like, they can't talk about it. But first of all, when I first heard about this, I thought that Tank just out of nowhere was like, I've sucked a dick. Like, and I was like, wow, the day has finally come. Like, my dreams are fulfilled.
Right.
But he didn't they asked him this shit on something that was completely not even related to sex before. I know that Lip Service is like a podcast about sex and stuff, but they asked him the question and he answered it. And I think that he gave a respectable, like politically correct, if anything, answer, because what you're doing is you're separating sexual acts from sexual identity, which is just, it's just a thing. There are so many of y'all. Okay, first I'll say, so many women who have wasted a billion of you gay girls' damn time. Lots of you out here, you know what I'm saying, linked to a stud just because he looks like your favorite rapper. The bitch look like Chris Brown or somebody. And you're just like, why not? Because women in this country especially are given loads of room to play around with their sexuality. A couple of y'all have eaten an Amazon box or two in your era. And you're like, you know what? Like that white kombucha girl. Like,
no, I will never get tired of that gift.
And you land on the realization that it's not for you.
Right.
And nobody's like, oh, girl, you gay. If anything, it's more gay girl saying, that bitch is straight, right? The opposite. And
told you that bitch was straight from the very fucking beginning.
I just don't understand. There have been so many gay men who have slept with women in their life and been like, not for me.
No thanks.
There have been so many gay and queer women who've slept with men or whatever and been like, not
really could never do that again.
There have been, and like I said, there have been straight women who have fucked around with women before and been like, not really my thing. Why is it only men that it's like, nah, girl?
If you tried it even once, then that's it.
If you even, not to mention, there's plenty of you straight niggas, and I know some of y'all, that have found yourselves in positions where you are either not even doing something gay yourself, but you were just in the proximity of something that would be considered gay, that you would never even talk about openly because you know that somebody would call you gay for it. I know niggas who have been to the gay club just because they're friends with a gay nigga, or their girlfriend or somebody they're dating is friends with a gay nigga, and that's where you end up. And you didn't even have a problem. Many of y'all probably had a great ass time, but you would never tell nobody you were there because then they would think that you were gay as well.
Just for going.
Many of you niggas like your rim tickled. You like a little tongue on your hole from a woman. Why? Because it feels good. Not because I'm gay, but because I have a booty hole like everybody else who has a booty hole. And it's just made up that that's how the fuck it feels. Thankfully, there have been a couple of niggas like I think 50 Cent and Joel Santana. A couple of niggas who have been like, so listen, what me and my lady do in the privacy of our, boudoir is our own business. But I'm not afraid to say.
Yeah, I like all of it.
I like, a little bit of salad and maybe a little tossing and maybe a little dressing on my salad.
I like all that. Give me
whatever.
All that.
But many of y'all don't even want to have discussions or disclosure about your own sexual kinks that you're doing with the opposite sex as men because you're afraid of what people will think. Like, when are we gonna just get over the bullshit? Because a lot of y'all don't even realize how fucking stupid you sound. And a good percentage of the time, the gay people are the ones who are looking at these quote unquote straight people. And it's, again, because I don't know Tank, so I'm not gonna assume, but this didn't make me think that he was gay.
No, I think he kept saying like, I am straight and you sound like a dumbass. So,
but it's usually us that recognize these people as whatever it is that they say that they identify. And it's y'all that be calling each other gay and throwing daggers and shit at each other all of the fucking time.
That's true.
And then it was like, oh, well, Tank, I saw something about him performing at Pride. And it's like, why the fuck wouldn't Tank?
So many artists take Pride money. Do you know Pride checks cash just like everybody else's?
I'm sorry. What?
Y'all so fucking stupid.
Pride cuts the check. I've said this on the show before. When many of y'all bitches turn your backs on some of these girls, they know they could come to Pride. LA,
right.
Houston, Dallas, Chicago, Miami, DC, New York. They can go to many of the places, Detroit, and somebody will have a bag for them.
Keke Palmer.
Many of you, like a lot of the girls who have not had like a song on the radio in forever, have not had an album out forever and things like that, but just have had classic hits or who still have a following from the gays.
Right.
You have a stage at somebody's motherfucking Pride. Yes, Kelly Price, you're invited.
You sure are.
Sure, Brownstone, have your reunion
Come
here.
sing it down.
Yes, we would love to see Montel Jordan, whoever.
Any nigga who still got abs, come take your shirt off.
And some of the people who are doing just fine. Brandy stays at a fucking Pride. Yeah. Jennifer Hudson stays at a fucking Pride.
I feel like the other one does too, but yes.
Yes, Jennifer Lopez also might appear at a Pride function. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the girls, but they pay.
Right.
And not only that, you're probably going to have a good time and you're likely going to have an enthusiastic crowd.
That's right.
Tank still does crunches, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Tank still can sing.
And
so
gay niggas listen to sex songs too, believe it or not. Y'all are so weird.
Who the fuck am I as a nigga with bills to say no to anybody who still want to hear me come and sing and be kind to me because of what the fuck you niggas. Right. None of you Boulevard Street niggas are about to pay none of my bills on the first. So why should I for you?
Right.
No. So that's one because I'm okay.
And you're right. Straight people are the ones doing that because we have seen enough people come in and give head 2-3 times and then dip right on back out to be worried or pressed every time a new one of y'all pops up. It's straight people who act like, oh no, you've done this thing once or twice and so therefore you are whatever. Like,
right. But worse than that even to me is the fact that here we have a specific situation where a nigga was asked a question and answered it in a manner that I would deem respectfully.
Yeah.
Wasn't talking about anything he has done.
It wasn't
not
stupid.
talking about anything he wanted to do. Literally just gave a common sense, not dumb answer and then has to deal with people calling him gay. And that's famous people, not famous people, whatever. Like, first of all, mind your own fucking business and whatever is going on in your bed or car or airplane lavatory or wherever it is that you get your kicks on Route 66. But bitch, at some point, we have to like let go of the fear of homosexuality and this like equating it to weakness so badly that we deem every little, and it's the thing that really irks me about it is that it's not even exclusive to sexuality. It's really like anything that makes a black man seem weak to other niggas, many of whom ain't even shit anyway, so why the fuck do you even care what they think about you?
Say that.
But anything that makes them seem weak to them is off limits. And that's anything, like, again, the mere discussion of gay shit.
Right.
That has to do with crying, even though you're a human being. And sometimes
that is something we do.
That's just what happens when we are overcome with emotion, negative or positive.
Or pain causes a physical reaction. Like that is how your body works. You are made of human, dumbass. Oh, I'm sorry.
Loving and respecting the person that you're with, especially a fucking woman, openly. That is seen as weakness.
Foreign.
You better disrespect these bitches.
These niggas.
Because that's what makes you strong. And there's I could, like, the list could go on and on and on and on and on of how men don't even realize, a lot of heterosexual men especially, don't even realize how often they fall for the okie doke over the opinion of some fuck niggas that ain't paying your bills, ain't sleeping with you, and ain't doing anything to better you any motherfucking way.
Right.
I just read some shit that Brandon T. Jackson talking about wearing a dress in Big Mama's House 3 or whatever fucking movie that was that he was in ruined his career. Or not the fact that you didn't have great roles, your acting wasn't very exemplary, and you just haven't had a role in a long time.
Too many niggas have made money off of putting on a dress for me to believe that killed your
Tyler
career.
Perry's killing it. Martin Lawrence about to be in another blockbuster.
A whole bunch
Will
of
Smith.
Instagram comedians portray women. Like, this is actually a great way to make money.
Going on a stand-up tour again.
Yeah, if your career ended, I'm going to have to say it wasn't the dressing up like a woman that did it. Because a lot of niggas have made themselves very rich. So that can't be it. Figure it out.
The other thing I wanted to discuss is somehow I was accosted with a clip of Kanye West, a.k.a. Tamla. Man, if you don't.
We could just not.
And I think he was on Big Boy's show or some shit. He's got this new thing out that he's doing, this gospel album, if it's supposed to be
I won't be
gospel
on that.
or whatever. And I saw this clip, I think it was on Baller Alert, of him where he says that we're cultureless as Black people and we're signed to the culture vultures. He then named like maybe 4 things as an example to kind of back that up. And he said, like, I don't think I'm going to remember all 4 of them, but he said being on social media is cultural. Pushing a foreign is cultural. High fashion is cultural, and something else that is also not cultural.
What?
Like, he named all of these things and said they're cultural, but we don't own them. So we don't like own a culture or whatever.
Being on Instagram is a Black thing? Is that what he's trying to say?
He said being on social media is cultural.
Black cultural? You know what? Never mind.
Cultural.
You're
and that
right.
We don't own
My
them.
bad. Okay.
Pushing a foreign, high fashion, being on social media is something else.
Oh, Kanye.
That is not exclusive to Black people. That was not started in any one culture and whatever. But on that one specific thing, I will just quickly say that it sounds like what he was trying to get to is the fact that a lot of the people that have capitalized off of things that we make popular are not Black or are not our people.
Okay.
I would not say that does not mean that we don't own a culture or that we are cultureless.
Right.
If anything, things that are a part of our culture have been monetized by other people.
Like,
but
how are you not getting that?
But anyway, again, and like I joke and things like that, and we've danced around this Jesus is King thing because I just think the whole thing is absurd. Mm-hmm. So of course I'm going to make my jokes, but I still recognize that Kanye has a lot of shit going on in his head, heart, and many other places probably. Mm. And whatever it is that he needs to do for himself, good, go for it, girl, because I've been stopped paying attention or giving a fuck. However, what upsets me or annoys me about this situation is that he is put in positions like this where he can say dumb stuff like this about us. He's in those positions with us and he's not challenged on them. How the fuck you gonna have Kanye sit in front of your face and say that we're cultureless and not say, nigga, what the fuck are you talking about? They just fired Van Lathan's black ass from TMZ for putting his hands on a white man. Ever so calmly, from what I saw anyway. And Van Lathan was the last person, if one of the few people I ever saw in Kanye's face directly say, nigga, excuse me. Right. I don't understand. So now, because this nigga is mixing the fucking Clark sisters with the beats.
No, stop it with your ghetto remixes, please.
Mixing the Clark sisters with "You Know What's Up." I just don't. It's like
what I need.
Like now we're just going to let Kanye say whatever because he's a genius. It reminds me also, funny enough, to the president and a lot of his homies.
What an incredible segue.
Who are always in positions to say fuckery. Like,
nigga,
the fact that the fuckery, the fact that what he said is fuckery becomes the headline.
Yep.
Yet he says it in front of people and they're like, okay. And and I thought, for many of them, I understand the complications maybe of challenging the president to some people, as well as some people who probably want him to just dig his own grave and sound stupid and then report about it. Fine. But that's what this reminds me of. But separately, like, you see this nigga trying to make his way. He's hired all of these incredibly talented singers who are probably doing this shit because it's an exciting and amazing opportunity. So I don't fault none of them niggas for that shit. But he's using their talent and love for singing and gospel music and God to like make his way back into these rooms where he can again say that we ain't shit and we're a slave to white people anyway. So why can't he say whatever the fuck he wants to, essentially? And I don't understand why people who have had platforms and who have influence of whatever kind are sitting in front of him and allowing him to say that shit and acting like he's fucking Marvin Sapp. Like, girl, what are y'all?
Fuck out of here, Kanye.
Last but not least, this is mostly just a little tiny pet peeve. I don't understand why movie trailers play like a 10 to 15 second mini introduction to the trailer in their trailers these days. I don't even know if you know what I'm talking about. But if you've noticed, like a lot of trailers for movies these days, if you watch them on YouTube or anywhere else, there's like this very short segment at the beginning of trailers now where it shows you a flash of a bunch of images from the trailer that you're about to watch anyway. And it's like, Warner Brothers presents such and such movie trailer out now. And then the trailer plays. I'm like, why the fuck did I need to watch that?
It's a trailer for the trailer. Wow. No, that's not necessary.
I know that some of y'all know what I'm talking about and have seen, because I saw it today on, I don't remember, was it the new Grudge or I don't know. Some trailer did it today that I saw, and I was like, once again, I don't know why I need a 5-second lead up to the trailer featuring footage from the trailer that I'm about to watch.
Right.
It was almost like when you would watch TV, when like a music video, like the premiere of the new Destiny's Child video or something was about to come out, and TRL was going to commercial break or 106 Park, and they would show you 5 seconds of the video being like, coming up next, it's going to be Lose My Breath or whatever. And then, right. It's literally right before the trailer starts and then they play trailer. I don't understand why. And maybe one of y'all have an answer for that, but it annoys me and I just wanted to mention it and I'm finished.
You know, I bet it's effective in some kind of way.
There has to be a reason for it.
There's something behind it that I don't get. But yeah, that's weird.
That's it for me.
Okay, well, I'm going to make this super quick. So at Game 5 of the World Series, which is not a game that I watch, baseball in general, I don't like.
And yet a game I love, even though I didn't see it.
It is so boring to me. Like, how are the games that long and the score be like 9-7? I can't
say the same thing about football.
No, the fuck you can't. What? Niggas be whooping each other asses. Okay, every now
football
and then.
Is a very low scoring
If it's
game.
a no, only if you have like two incredible defenses are you going to have a very low scoring game.
I'm talking about football, not soccer.
Nigga, I don't like soccer neither. And you knew good and goddamn well you make me sick. Anyway, you make me sick. So Donald Trump took his ass to Game 5 of the World Series on Sunday and was promptly booed, which I feel like DC really not fucking with that nigga. Like, the energy in DC has been different since he was in the White House.
They chanted, lock him up.
It made me feel really good. Like, knowing that he had to sit there and he had just staged the killing of the ISIS man and trying to make it seem like it was all this, like way bigger deal. And, Bin Laden was one thing, but mine is way bigger than Bin Laden. Like, just anything to outdo Obama. And so just really probably surrounding himself with nobody who was going to tell him what a fucking dumbass he looks like. He goes to this game. He gets embarrassed. But no need, because the very next day, scores of white people came pouring out of the fucking woodwork to tell the rest of us about how we were wrong for booing Donald Trump or chanting lock him up, and the office of the presidency deserves better than that. And so a lot of people said this dumb shit.
Yeah, I saw it.
I'm going to call out a Democrat in particular. His name is Christopher Coons. He's a senator. His name is Coons. He is not black. That would be too much. That would be too much.
No, I mean, I saw his picture, so I knew he wasn't, right. But yeah.
So anyway, he's a Democrat. He represents Delaware. And he said, well, forgive me, I'm enough of a sort of traditionalist about our institutions that even at a time when there's a lot that our president does that I find disturbing, offensive, unconventional, I have a hard time with the idea of a crowd on globally televised sporting event chanting lock him up about our president. I frankly think the office of the president deserves respect, even when the actions of our president don't.
Are you
Senator Coons, my dear sweet bitch? You said all that, and yet you didn't hear, I think the office of the president deserves respect, even when the actions of the president don't, and didn't think maybe the first person who should be respecting the office is the bitch who holds the office?
What a fucking idiot.
This man pisses all over y'all's idea of democracy and rule of law and how things are supposed to be done and proper actions and what is legal to do. Like, all the time, every fucking day, all day.
All the things he has said.
All the shit Donald Trump has said, and this is what you...
And I can't say boo and lock him up.
You wagging your finger at the rest of us? First of all, only I wasn't even remotely embarrassed by this. I'm embarrassed by Donald Trump. So anytime Americans actually take the time to let him know to his face that we not fucking with him, I feel nothing but pride. Hell no, I was not ashamed of this. I wish I was there. Especially knowing how much he hates it. Like being in those kinds of situations and having to he can't deal with people hating him online. Right. So being in a situation like that, especially America's pastime or whatever baseball is, where he's being just passionately booed. Right. I just know that made the hair on his lumpy old white ass fall off. And that in itself is a delight. Right. I mean, and he did try to fix it with like, I understand why people feel that way, and that's why the Senate needs to do their job on impeachment, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But in between the beginning and the end, which is honestly where you should have started and began, you should have just went with, you know what? I understand why people feel this way. And that's why those of us in the fucking government and do our job and impeach this bitch. That's where you should have left it. You could have kept out all of this. Well, I'm so disappointed, and this reminds me of countries where the rule of law is unknown or established. Hello, the United States of America is acting like they don't know what the fuck the rule of law is. White people, it is a privilege to go around acting like that fucking matters. What does rule of law matter when your people are constantly subject to the fuckery of this administration? What does rule of law matter when this man is separating children from their parents and putting their asses in cages? He acted like they threw tomatoes and cabbages at his ass like Cersei Lannister. I mean, that should have happened as well. Oh my God, can you imagine if they would have chanted shame instead? If they walked Trump through the square, oh bitch. Nigga, can we make the next chant shame? I'm renting a 6'8" person and I'm getting on their shoulders so that I can have the perfect view and the access to pelt that nigga in the head. I'm gonna call Trey Lisa up to get me some Whole Foods cabbage. Trey Lee's gonna charge it to your man Amazon Prime, bitch. We getting everything, bitch. Let's go. Down with the empire. Maybe. Well, first of all, I don't really give one fuck about respecting the office of the presidency. No. And no, that one black president is not enough to change my mind about that. The United States, historically, the office of the president has not really given a fuck about me or my people. Not really. So don't ask me to give a fuck about respecting the office, but especially when y'all got the most disrespectful motherfucker of all time currently up in that bitch and not doing shit about it. Like, are you crazy? Kiss my whole black ass. There's nothing to respect. I mean, it was liberal white people coming out and being like, we're above this, you guys. When they go low, we go high. For booing this man at a basketball game. Other sport, but yes. Oh yeah, it was baseball. That's right. But still, point remains. Donald Trump deserves to be booed everywhere he goes. Any old where. Maybe if he was publicly shamed more, he would do less stupid shit. I doubt it. But I mean, I doubt it as well, but we might as well. You know, other countries are leading whole ass riots. People are in the streets for days and days on end fighting for equality and shit. And we just sitting back letting this motherfucker chill in office. Like for real, for real. And then it's coming from people who like, it's your job to do something about this nigga. Like, I'm not elected to shit. I'm not elected to shit. So while instead of wagging your finger at the rest of us and acting like it's something wrong with us for rightly calling out this selfish, stupid, terrible, sadistic, evil motherfucker, why don't you focus on his trifling ass and the fact that he don't show no damn respect to the White House that you love so goddamn much and leave the rest of us paying our taxes and just trying to survive the fuck out of it. You could get booed too, bitch. Boo! You lucky you not my senator. Boo! Shit. Fuck out of here with all that, you stupid bitch. And that wraps up this week's episode of Boo! In summation, fuck you, Katie. We was so drunk. Anyway, check out our show at thisistheread.com. We're on social media at thisistheread. Yes. Tomorrow, if you're listening to this on Tuesday, is Trilloween 7, I believe. So if you haven't got tickets already, you can go to Trilloween.com. That's TRILLOWeen.com. Get tickets and come on out. I think you are so stupid.
I've got 2 outfits. Costume.
Okay.
Possibilities.
Okay.
Both of them are nerdy, but one of them is missing a critical piece, which isn't supposed to get here until tomorrow. So that one's up
fingers crossed
in the air. But if not, I've got something else. I can't wait to see all of your costumes and things like that. So if you don't have Halloween plans or you want some more, it's going to be plenty of liquor and niggas and good vibes and music and things like that. So Trillian.com if you don't have tickets already. Also, make sure that you check out our television program, The Read on Fuse. This and every Friday at 11 p.m., where we do this same shit in a shorter,
half-hour television format.
More colorful.
In a lot of ways.
Format. Yeah, so lots more to come from that. If you haven't checked it out, you can go ahead and check that out on Fuse, as well as the Fuse app and Amazon Prime, iTunes, and those places. Yeah.
Thank you to YMA for coming through.
Special thanks for you.
I'm so excited about next week's guest or this week's guest. But yeah, that was a really fun interview.
She was actually really fun. Very, very easy to interview and talk to. And she had a great energy. So
even though I had been warned, they were like, she's shy. She don't like to talk a lot. Like she's kind of quiet. She won't open up.
She's a tiny bit soft spoken in like certain moments.
For the first like 3 minutes. And then she was like... Let's have shots.
I mean, we're definitely non-threatening, no shit ass Negroes.
She probably doesn't get to do interviews with 2 queer Black people very often. So it's like,
that's probably true.
Why not just let your hair down a little bit?
Like Black people.
Right. Black people who like other Black people is rare in the industry sometimes. But anyway, so excited for y'all to see what we have coming up next week. And I think that's it. Do we have to announce that the thing in LA this weekend?
I haven't been told that, and I don't have concrete information on it, so I'm not going to say anything.
We're not doing that.
But we may have more to discuss for this weekend.
Follow us on social media to get updates that Alex will post.
Yes.
Because we won't.
And then DM my text messages telling me to post it.
Can you please, not just on your stories, can you post it?
If you...
No, girl. Well, anyway, yes, that wraps up this week's episode of The Read. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next week.
Goodbye.